Oh, hello, my sweet. So won't you come with me? There's oh so much to show in this grim dark distillery. So if you like bullshit or want some hobby tips, this nightmare priest nigh unbinary Harold Magnificent welcomes you. Hello, my sweets. Hi, Mowgli. Hi, Possum. How are you all? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh boy, doing a lot of painting today. Hopefully we can get it done. So, to bring you guys up to speed, I painted the beekeeper. Yes, the beekeeper. The skin, I'm going to have to go back over. We're going to do that here in a little bit. But the idea was I was trying to get it to look very much like it had sun poisoning. Let me see if I can get any closer on that. Yeah, lots of variations with red. Yeah, sun poisoning was, love the mask and his red skin. Thank you. Yeah, the sun poisoning was something I was really I'm trying to differentiate, not differentiate, but diversify the skin tones of all the guys. So, um, which is difficult for me because my main go-to is like really pale, unhealthy looking skin. Like something that does not look right, or is just very horrifying. Like it looks like it lives in a cave and it's always scratching itself. Um, so I am trying to switch things up though, because I wanted to be a pretty, a diverse area. Oh, YouTube hit me with the sensor. Oh shit! What were you gonna say? Possum and his slurs. Classic Possum. Oh. Um, and then the fighter. Let's go a little bit closer. Uh, this is my first attempt at a dark skin tone, which I'm happy with the hands. I think they look very good. There's not very much. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, there's not very much skin showing on this, just his hands and legs. But I am happy with the variation that I've got going on there. And then the one that is giving me poke, poke, exactly. Oh, poke, 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 poke. He's going to poke you with the weird double pitchfork. Um, and the blacksmith, I really tried to get a leather kind of tone for the apron. And then also the skin somewhat similar. I imagine that regardless of the skin tone you start out with, I assume if you're a blacksmith, by the time that you've like been doing it for a little while, your skin kind of looks like leather meat just from constantly being near the forge. That's typically something we see in media and whatnot. And then the archer, who's a doom hunter outside of the scenarios. But with that, I realize that it's getting quite Robin Hood-esque, and that's fine. You know, we're just going to roll with it. And then I moved on to getting Sam and Kelly's groups painted, which they are very bright right now. Lightly grilled. Ah, why did it censor that? Uh, yeah, no, he looks lightly grilled. Ugh, man, sun poisoning is gnarly. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty happy with them so far. Obviously the metals are crazy bright. We're gonna drop those down real smooth, like when we get into the weathering. So pretty much again, all of these are like while they look fine, they're nowhere near close to like what they're gonna look like. You know, we gotta get the colors. Pretty much my process, as you all know, is painting in oils first. That kind of dials in the variations that I'm trying to get, because oils naturally kind of, no, I was talking about demoralizing my enemies through my persistence. The horrors persist, and yet so do I. Yeah, so with my painting process, typically I do oils first because that helps me lock in teabagging, which I don't know what's wrong with that, but YouTube hates it when I persist. I'm sorry, Possum. Well, I love it when you persist. It's great. Keep persisting. Um, Yeah, I do the oils first. That kind of dials in the colors that I want, and then just because of how oils naturally dry, it creates variations. It also goes down into crevices, so it's easier for me to tell where shadows need to be. And then I go through with acrylics. Well, first I do the metals. First I do all the metals. I lock all those in. I do all the metal for all the models, and then I go in and pretty much grab each one, and I use acrylics to kind of dial in what I want them to look like. After seeing them with the oils, doing it with acrylics, I have a little bit more control, um, because it looks a lot. It dries just so much faster. With oils, you never really know what you're going to get until it's completely dry because it's still doing its thing. And then we eventually go back in with weathering products, enamels typically. So oils, acrylics, enamels. That's the order that I go in. So yeah, we are now on the acrylic phase, and we're just kind of going through these and updating certain things. This needs some more metallics, but I'm going to do that like in the beginning, at the end, once I've got everybody else taken care of. Had a whole lot of votes on my Mordheim Warband poll that I put on Insta, more than I've ever had. Had a lot of people wanted to give me advice, or have their input onto what we go with, and it was a close race for two of them, between the Beastman Raiders and the Court of the Profane Blessings. But at the 11th hour, the Beastmen did win when they won the day. So that will be my first Beastman. Yes, exactly. I think Mordheim is what the people want. It is what the people want. And also, I can very safely say now that it's not just me. I'm sorry, Possum. I know. There were a lot of the crew, from our little community was just like, Court of the Profane Pleasures, Court of the Profane Pleasures. And while I also want to do them, I am kind of glad that it's something different, because once once we do that, I don't want it to seem like I just make the same kind of stuff all the time. And right after, the Mordheim stuff is when I'm really going to start doing a lot of heresy stuff. And essentially, like, a very large amount of that is just going to look like it was still me working on the Court of the Profane Blessings, or Profane Pleasures, Blessings, whichever one. I don't remember what the title is. Also, do not tie me in with some people. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to tie anybody in with anything unless they want that. The thing that I was a little shocked by is I put the little note on there. It's like, yeah, not gonna lie, there is a hidden slider in there that dictates how many cat boys you all will see in the coming months. And apparently, I feel like that pleasures. Okay, Court of the Profane Pleasures. Court of the Profane Pleasures. Too many profane blessings, pleasures, all those things. Um, yeah, I think a lot of people saw that and they were like, I know how to get 100% cat boys. But it's fantasy Slanesh. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Possum said it's what the people wanted. I'm not the people. Yeah, the lowest one was the Cult of the Possessed, but it did have a lot of people that normally do not weigh in on things. So I was just like, sorry guys, thanks for voting, but um, I can't. I'm kind of a little more pleased, because while I really like the idea of doing the Court of the Profane Pleasures, I don't like the fact that they don't have a skill table, um, and it seems like it's just, I worry about other people not having fun, and I don't know. I feel like the Beastman is less mental work, because I don't have to worry too much about trying to make sure I don't have to finish the thing, if that makes sense. Like the Beastmen have already been out for forever, so I already kind of have ideas. I have a lot of ideas, on where to go and whatnot. Whereas the Court of the Profane Pleasures, I am afraid. that, what is the word that I was going to use here? I don't want to make, one, something that's not fun for people to play against, and two, I don't know how much I need to think about, like, oh yeah, you know, this, because it's one of the newer war bands, I don't know how much is going to be an issue with me trying to plan the warband in mind. Beastmen are fun though. They do a hit hard. If you don't take Minotaur, you're winning. Oh, we're gonna put skill table in like 5 minutes. Possum, I know you wanted them. I want them to. I guess I just really, I wish that Tomas, if Tomas had finished, like completely finished building them, to where they could have been run in that tournament and all the other things, I would have just picked that. But it really did throw me for a loop, and I hate that there's still that part of me that needs to design for a game in mind. But at the end of the day, it's all because I don't want people to especially play against something that I bring to the table and not have fun to the point that they don't want to keep playing. And I worry about that with anything that could be considered power gaming. But man, and I know that they are Slaanesh fantasy, but Beastmen can be Slaanesh fantasy too, especially if they're all cat boys. And yes, we 100% will be starting with a Minotaur, a Catatar, if you will, a Felidar. It's going to be a cat boy Minotaur. There will be cages and bells. Hope you guys like seeing little bell collars, because, oh boy, there's gonna be a lot. Also, a lot of people reached out and were just like, Beastmen equals cat boys, right? And I was just like, yeah. They're like, I thought so. Good. 100% cat boys. We want the cat boys. And I was like, yeah. If I'm doing bad in the game, it makes me want to get better at it. I have to prove it to myself. You will not win. Just wait until you Eye of God your Minotaur and you hit the 8 attack frenzy in the enemy's entire warband. I'm down for that. Now see, that at least though, it's like it's been around long enough that people know that that's a thing that could happen. My worry with like the court of the profane pleasures is anything that comes up that's just like, man, I don't know how to handle this and I want to make sure it's fair for everybody. Even though Mordheim is not a balanced game, nor is it, I think, supposed to be. But that part of me that still wants people to have fun, especially because it's also my very first like Mordheim warband. So I know a lot of people suggest sticking with the core warbands. You're gonna go full Conan, crush your enemies to see them driven before you and hear the lamentations of their women. What could be better in life than that? It's not fun to play against meta builds. Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't everything online. Everyone's like, man, they seem really powerful, and I just don't want that to be a preconceived notion, especially going in. And same Mowgli. I think I have talked before about a previous guy that was in my other gaming crew that was just all about just meta builds, like win at all costs shit. And it was my entire goal to bring the fluffiest list that I could and beat them. And I did. And they got so angry that they just left. And that is one of my... I may have won the game, but I actually won the war that I was wanting to win. Black Legion, baby. Spite victories. Play the finals, everyone. Play the finals, everyone using weapons. I'm back saying people with a dagger like it's TFT. Got that scavenger, that dirty dagger. Dude, dirty daggers will get you, man. You get hit by that, you're like, oh my god, I think I have tetanus. I can't move. Dirty dagger. I really like this color. This is warm brown, I believe. Warm brown, yeah, one of Ninjon's. John Ninus, I believe. This is last name's pronunciation. Had a brief encounter with him at Adepticon last year while picking up our Golden Demon entries. He was complaining about them not allowing him to put in a piece that he bought from Games Workshop because it was like a statue for Space Marine 2 that he had spent, I mean, a lot of time on. It did look fucking sick. And they were like, yeah, you can't put that in. And I was like, man, that sucks. They let me put frustration in. I do 100% believe that frustration had been designated to not even be remotely eligible for anything from the time I put it in, though. Which is absolutely fine. I just wanted it to go in the cabinet. I just needed it to go in the cabinet. But it's... So... Me and my performative art joke. Yeah. Sounds like my kind of guy. We have a guy in our event group who will run into intro games and slam out the gnarliest cheese and flames of Ryan. I shake my head every time. Yeah, like that's... Yeah, I don't like introducing people to a game and them walking away thinking, wow, that wasn't fun at all. I don't ever want to play that again. I really like the first games that someone has to be something enjoyable that makes them want to keep coming back to our little corner of the world. So I definitely try not to. I think about that stuff. I guess that's it. Not only do I think about, man, hey, does this make sense? First and foremost, for like the lore of the group that I'm trying to make, and then after that, pretty much, is this going to be fun for me to play and fun for other people to play against? Gotta oscillate this pain. Oh, I thought that was a funny thing. I don't know what language Possum is speaking. Gnarliest cheese. So cheese would just be like, essentially when you look to see how to break the game without like intentionally just blatantly breaking rules, but what you could put together to win, even if it doesn't make any kind of sense outside of it being a game. Like when you see a bunch of Space Marines, or a better example would be Tyranids with more than one Hive Tyrant. There's literally supposed to only be one of those things running around because it's like the commander. So if you've got more than one, you're being that guy. Don't be that guy, because it's just now. And the whole thing comes down to that with, well, you might not have any options to even play the army that you want to play because of how underperforming the list or the army that you have has been made by current meta. Cheese is all about how to take advantage of the current meta, essentially, I think. A meta abuser. Oh, okay, he's not my kind of guy. He just takes the strongest stuff every time and nearly one-shots mechs every turn. Yeah, that kind of thing. Which my absolute preferred way with Flames, I have not played a game of Flames yet, but I cannot imagine that any time that I would play, I would use anything that was not randomly determined. That was one of the funnest parts of rolling up. Pick up a dagger like a real man. Yeah, a dagger or a stick. A club. One of the funnest parts of Flames of Orion, like making little stuff for that, was rolling up just randomly generated like mechs and having to figure out, okay, how do I work with that? How do I make a theme out of that? I really like that. Oh boy. I finally got that stage to print, and I cannot stress enough how much of a bitch that was. It sucked. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Vemet and his crew over. We might touch them up too. Oh no, Pig Knight. Pig Knight, why have you forsaken me? Okay. One other thing that I'll show real quick. I'm pretty pleased. I've still got to do the weathering on them, but I figured you all probably would like to see them. Looking like a green winner this year. It is, it is. I got a little more work done on these guys. I'm very pleased with how they have turned out. They look very, very nasty. I'm just gonna scoot that back a little bit. They look like a dirty, smelly, hay-covered house. Even when we did quick play random rolls, if he rolled heavy weapon, he would automatically slap the Fouchette into it, and that's 4 damage to no save. If you didn't roll an armor upgrade. Yeah, that's not fun. My favorite that I rolled was a dude with, and I want to say Steve. That is sweet. Thank you, Basic Brush, and welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you. I've got to trim up some of the hair still, but I'm going to do that once I do painting. Bruh. Yo. I miss you. I miss you. I miss all of you. Even though you're here now. My sweet, sweet, sweet children. Shit, I was saying something. Oh yeah, Steve was like, man, that's going to be a mean mech, but I rolled up a mech that had, I want to say it was an atomic like power generator, and then reactive armor, and then just a power fist. Oh, and self-destruct. Those were the 4 things that it rolled up. Essentially, nuclear powered. It reacts to you hitting it, and then it can blow up when it wants to, and it just has a fist. I really like that. Just run straight at you and punch you with a mech. It's just pretty much joys of lab work rather than PC work means I can't jump in as often. Sad. I'm sorry to hear that, Basic Brush, for myself, but I am, if you enjoy lab work rather than PC work, I'm happy for that. But if you don't, then damn them to hell. How could they? Trying to take my children away from me. Pop a self-destruct, but it misses. Screw you, Voltorb. We were supposed to win. I forgot that was even an option that could happen. But yeah, how does that work? I guess he like goes to the other end of the arena and he's just like and just blows up. Whenever you're fighting, it's just like, oh man, that was weird. Why'd you do that? Are we? Yeah, we're zoomed in. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So, in a corner crying. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta have a good cry. So, Basic Brush, do you prefer lab work or PC work? I would think lab work would be fun, maybe. But I don't know. Depending on what you do, it could be very much like I've got too much shit that I need to be doing at a PC. I don't have time for this. I know all about that life. Let me see if I can find a clean part of this napkin. Nope. You get the shirt glasses. That's better. Boop, 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 boop. Lab work is fun. I get to type when boss is in here. Which is 8 until 8 my time, 9 US. Hell yeah. Depends on what the lab work includes. It makes a decent break from screens, but the fumes can be noxious even with ventilation. Oof. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah. You really don't notice when the fumes are like, man, these fumes are getting bad, until they've gotten too bad. And then you're just like, oh man, I think I've been in here too long. Why do I feel so on edge and jittery and have a headache? I get it. I get it. Let's get a little bit of brown on that big old stick. Heard about that big old stick you got. Used to club people with it before you throw them off a fucking castle. Yeah, I saved. We almost got really distracted, but I was trying to take the 1490 Doom castle, the one that they developed, and size it to where it's like more in scale with the stuff that I've done, which is essentially by increasing it. I want to say 65%, but that change makes it to where they're no longer 2 inches tall, they're now 3 inches tall, which is the same height as the castles that I've built. I like that. You don't know until you have fresh air. Then you're like, what the fuck was I breathing? My stick is average. This is a big stick. It's a big stick. Big stick. Big boy with a big stick. You silly Mowgli. I get it. I get the joke. I get it. Tee hee hee. Yeah, there's not really an option for just a small club in 1492. Well, I mean, I guess technically there is. It's just light weapon, a mace, a sword, a stick, average size stick. LOL. Hey, there's a little nail. I'm gonna have to remember to touch that up. So I'm trying to remember to go in layers here, where and by that I mean painting what is underneath, with the exception of the skin. I've fucked that up. But trying to get different tones locked in underneath what I know I'm going to paint over top. That way I don't smudge it. I'm also very much, I've been debating if I want to go with, whoop, get off there. None of that. You silly boy, you. Ogres have layers. Ogres have got layers. They got layers upon layers, baby. They're complex. I've been trying to do layers, but for this, I'm not sure if we want. Okay, I've got paint on this brush still. I need to quit touching it. I've been debating if I wanted to go with something from Turbo Dork that is going to change, but I think at the end of the day, I'm going to do it how I kind of do Gundamize. Does that wiggle the screen? Can you guys? If I wiggle my legs, does it make the screen gyrate? Nah, I think we're good. I can wiggle away, baby. Yeah, I think instead of doing a Turbo Dork like a reactive kind of paint where it changes depending on where you look at it, I went ahead and I painted it silver, and I'm going to go over it with a transparent acrylic. Same thing with this guy. I kind of want to go back and touch up like all the lenses. Yeah, I guess most of the little dudes, and even the guys that I've done so far, I might go back and touch up their eye lenses with a transparent acrylic to kind of give it a glass kind of look. That's how I do that with my Gundams, to make them, if it does not come with a clear plastic piece for the eyes, then I often will do that with paint to make it look better. And if it does come with a clear plastic, not going to jewel your lenses. No, I don't think I'm going to use any actual jewels. Now, on the demon side of things, yeah, we got some jewels they're going to go in there. I also don't have any that I think would be appropriately scaled. I say that, but I do have a whole little thing of lenses, but for like mono eyes and stuff. I don't have anything that would fit on there, so I would have to do at least this one on its own. And then the others, some of them have like wire screening over the eye slits. So in order to make those look in line with all the others, I would need to redo some thinking. Good morning, Roz. Damn, my intro message must be filtered for cursing. Tried to put a reference. Fuck yeah, man. Okay, well now I gotta know what you say. You know I love Predator, um, especially so I legitimately do love the first Predator film because it's a great movie, and I also love Predator 2 because it's not a good movie, but it is great. I called you a SOB, of course. Oh, of course, of course. Dr. Disrespect. Oh God, not that kind of Predator. I don't like that kind of Predator. I think we all know that now. Not actual jewels. The painting jewels kind of jeweling. Oh, well, similar maybe. It just depends. I think with that, don't you typically use like washes? Um, it's a similar kind of concept. So like uh, Johnny, like Witchhammer Studio, like he's the first one that comes to mind when I think of this. But anything red, everything red that he does, it's to me a clear red, and it's so fucking good. Um, smells like death. Absolutely smells like death. Let's take a peek in here. Let's grab one of those so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Show you what I'm talking about. Yellow, orange, maybe a blue. I think I got a blue too. Do I have a blue? I'm sure I do. Got a pink. Yeah. Where the fuck? Okay, clear yellow, clear orange, clear red. You put these on top of a silver undercoat. Bam! Looks great. I don't know. Actually, I might have a Gundam I can grab so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. What the end result is. Um, there's a Predator game and there's a skin for the Pred, and the skin is Dr. Disrespect. Didn't age well. That's meta on a level that they didn't even intend. It's just painting gradients to look like a jewel. Okay, gotcha. I think my new, uh, not new Gundam, but shit. What is the one from the manga and not the anime? Hainu. Show you the Hainu. I'll show you who's the Hainu now. I'll be right back. Let me grab a Hainu Gundam. I know I used it on its eyes. Oh no, not the cathedral. All right, all right, all right. Let's see, where you at, Hainu? There you are, my friend. Man, my Gundam cabinet is so lighter than it used to be. There used to be hundreds of little Gundams over here running around having a great time, and now there's like 10. What's the world coming to, you know? Did I paint these eyes, or did I use a sticker like a bitch? Nope. I did paint them. However, I painted them with a turbo dork, I think afterburner. So never mind. It's not gonna make sense if I show this. Back in the cage you go, my son. Oh, my sweet child. Well, I don't have anything readily available to show, but you'll see soon enough. I don't, no. Calibarn? Nope. Yeah, okay. All the things that I've pretty much got over here, either A, I've replaced the lenses entirely with like a jeweled lens, like an aftermarket, like little piece of metal with a clear jewel set into it, which is always fun. I always like doing hyper detailing, as you guys know. But, sorry, I don't have anything. And I don't even know where the rest of my Gundams are. Gundam wing. Such love, such care. I want any less touch. Oh, Hainu is so great. Yeah, I love the Hainu. Oh man, okay, so I'll pay you to make me a cup of Bebop spaceship. Oh man, I would love to do that. That's one of those things that's just like, it's not really what Eli normally does. Oh, I'd love to do that. There is a model kit of the swordfish. And I think I've got some STLs of a swordfish as well. But I want Eli's touch. I don't know if there's a kit of the Bebop itself. I don't know. I don't know if there is a kit of the Bebop. I know there's a kit of there are 3 ships that are in the Bebop. Yeah, the swordfish is such a good design. Yeah, so much love, such care. I love Cowboy Bebop. I could talk about that all day. Make one. Make your own kit. I could do that. All 3 are amazing. They really are. They really did such a good job on those. Okay, skin tones. We're gonna do a lighter flesh tone for the brute. And see, this is what I was talking about with, oh yeah, trying to do it in layers. I fucked up. And now we're gonna see that because I'm gonna have to go back in and redo some browns. Oh man. Gotta make sure we get his nips. Big boy's gotta have nips. Unless they were removed. They were not. His were not removed. Just recently, hand-drawn animation. Yes. Just recently finished the series and was mildly surprised when it actually ended. Oh man, no. I love Cowboy Bebop. It is one of my. It's honestly, it's probably my favorite anime. I think I've said before that it's my favorite, and I think I stand by that. It's just got a perfect amount of nostalgia and also just. There's only like one episode that I can think of that I'm like, man, that one's not my favorite, but it's the mushroom one. The one with the mushrooms. It's just a little silly one, and it is kind of a good like pace breaker for the rest of it because it's just like, man, we're gonna get into the really rowdy parts here in a little bit. I love how it almost seems like one shots. The vibe is just so good, yeah. Inkaruga Ginkai. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to look. It was already one of my favorites without watching it straight through. Oh yeah. There's just so many really good ones. I also love just the design. Yeah, the love and the thought in the design. That's one of my absolute favorite like anime creators. Is I did not care for Lazarus though. I gotta tell you, Lazarus just did not hit the same way as Champloo or Cowboy Bebop, and those are the only 3 of his that I've watched. But Samurai Champloo is right behind Bebop, and I think nostalgia is the only reason that keeps Samurai Champloo from like eclipsing Bebop, because like story-wise, Champloo is so good. I also absolutely love the concept, which the whole thing is like remix. Essentially, it's just a remix, and that's literally Champloo itself is a remix of a word. It's a non-existent word, bastardized between English and Japanese to kind of like reinforce that concept of remixing samurai and like, you know, feudal era Japan, and then adding in, you know, the hip hop. It's just so there's so many factors that go into Samurai Champloo and how well thought out the whole concept was, and I love that. I love a good concept album. So when you make a concept show, oof, Samurai's really good. That mushroom one was really silly. I think it winds down immediately after. Yeah, pretty much. The art style is my favorite, and the fucking intro was hard. Oh yeah. Oh, Ross. You gotta watch Samurai Champloo. Not just for me, but for you, my dear friend. It is wonderful. Those are the only 2. I want to say Watanabe, but that doesn't sound right. I'm playing too much Ghost. I have too many different Asian names in my head. I'm never gonna be able. If it's pretty. I mean, if you say Miyazaki, you're like, oh yeah, I think Miyazaki made that one, right? You don't have to know the first name. You just need to say that, and people will often be like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about, because there's just a shit ton of dudes who make really rad shit that whose name are Miyazaki. Uh, you could be talking about Ghibli, the Ghiblis, or you could be talking about FromSoft. So it's just like a win-win-win. Is it on Crunchy? Yeah, I believe so. Redline is my favorite American anime. Redline. I'm not pretty sure it was the last American anime hand drawn. Fuck, that's rad. Could be wrong. Huh, Redline. I've not heard of Redline. What's that one about? You know, your boy loves anime, and you know it's weeb season, baby. It's about cats going fast as fuck, boy. Cars. Okay. Well, I was like, I'm in. Cars. Okay. That's a little different than my normal MO. Now, cats. I was like, oh shit. How have I missed this one? It's about cats going fast as fuck. You like cat boys? You ever heard of cat cars? It's like a cat boy, but a car instead. And that is how you invent a whole new genre for the internet to do whatever it wants to with. We all know what it wants to do with it. Not the Eurobeat one. It's a recent show, right? It's actually the language barrier keeping the mid Miyazakis out. Yeah, yeah, the mid Miyazakis. Yep. The way he draws the speed of the car is so fun. He stretches the car in a movie. That sounds rad. Okay. All right. Well, if you think I would enjoy it, I will give it a shot. I really do appreciate the recommendation. It's an oldie, but man, I gotta watch it. I watch it at least probably twice a year. Akira, man, it's so fucking good. Talk about like hand drawn goodness. Oof, oof, baby. I can't handle that. Also, I want to say it's memories or memoirs, but the same guy who made Akira, the same director, did a. It's a collection of different stories, but man, that's also rad as fuck. Also, Jinro. Today's goblin meal: oatmeal, cream pie, ice cream, and blackberry merlot. That is that is peak goblin. I'm a big fan. I like the old animations, animated style with the round faces instead of the angular style. Memories is great. Cyber City 808. I've not seen that one, but it has popped up on my list. So we watched Memories, Memoirs of Vacation. Anyone? So who directed that? The guy who directed that directed something else that we were like, what the fuck? Is it the guy who did The Grudge? I have to check this. Rob Marshall. What else did Rob Marshall do? Okay. Well, he did Mary Poppins Returns, Pirates of the Caribbean, Nine. Nope. What the hell? Somebody involved in Memoirs of a Geisha. They did something, but not animated, but peak. I've not seen it. I have not seen that one. Cyber City is my favorite anime. It's only 3 episodes. Okay, I need to check that out. We watched. Is it Cyberpunk? Megalo Boxing. Hell yeah, a little boxing. I worked with a guy who got really fucking into. There was some anime about tennis, and I was just like, I don't I don't understand. Like, you don't give a shit about tennis or sports. Favorite anime, Samurai Champloo. Why are you obsessed with a show about tennis? And it did, I gotta say, that did pique my interest. But I do have to have some kind of interest whatsoever in something to give it that initial chance. Yeah, I should have painted the skin first. But hey, you know, I didn't want to fuck up the skin. That's why we're where we are. The fear of fucking up. Dog. Blue Lock is sick despite it being about soccer. Okay, well, there we go. So, boxing but with augmentations. Fuck yeah, that's rad as hell. Like the food anime where everyone moans. Ever see K-On? I have not. Uh, Kill La Kill is pretty good if you get past the skin. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Hell yeah. Still pretty decent, holds up well. Okay, man, a whole bunch of good anime recommendations. You know, I love anime. Have you guys seen Jinro? The Wolf Brigade? Talk about a manga that I wish was available in English. Fuck me. That also is one of the very few that I would recommend. The Jinro's Code. Yeah. It's so fucking good. It really also sound. There's just there are a few things that mankind has ever invented that is as scary as the fucking buzzsaw. I won't say it's the MG42, but just one of the scariest firearms ever made, and it's 100% the design that they carry around is supposed to look like that. And they absolutely use the sound of one being fired. It's so fucking scary. Yeah, I want to say it's an MG42. Ugly trigger stuff is generally decent. Really hard time getting to anything Studio Trigger. I don't know if I've. So what is Studio Trigger? Does Trigger do Jinro? Or it's only about 3 episodes? Crunchy's only showing 3. Yeah, the one that he mentioned, Cyber City. We watched one that was recommended to us, and I cannot help but feel like we looked up or found the wrong movie with a similar name and watched it, because one of Kelly's coworkers recommended a movie to us, and we were like, all right, cool, let's check it out. And I shit you not, like I'm having a very hard time thinking that it just wasn't just a straight hentai, because like it was a movie, but there was just too much. Like it was just like, okay, I'm down with the dark demon shit part of it, but the rest of this just seems like it's not anything other than a hentai. And you know, I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying it's not typically. Oh, Love Death Robots is excellent. I love that every episode is different. I mean, it's also, yeah, no, I love Love Death Robots. I think it is. I think you nailed it, Possum. So is that one not hentai, but you're like, maybe, because that sounds, it's Demon City something. KK, good. Yeah. Yeah, that one, it's very hard. Okay, yeah, no, so that's it. And I'm not opposed to that. Fuck it, let's watch hentai with the neighbors. I can't even. I don't know where. If I go right, if I watch hentai with my neighbors on the right side of me, it would be funny for the plotty lie. I watched it with Anna. She was very grossed out by the psychosexual horror. Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm all about some psychosexual shit, but when it becomes like, okay, when I don't know if I'm watching a hentai versus watching an anime, that's typically when I have like a problem where I'm like, I mean, I don't know where the line is. I'm not opposed to either, but I like to know what I'm getting into. And I was brought into it thinking, well, this is definitely not that, and it's one of the others. And then I left thinking, I think your coworker recommended hentai to us. Yeah, it just, yeah, pretty much. If that is can be considered a thing when demons are involved. Uh, just like when we watch Ninja Scroll. Okay, so yeah, no, this is the thing, and it's very important when you bring that up, because that was the movie that he recommended right before, and this was after finding out that Kelly really likes Berserk. Um, he was like, "Hey, you're the one who likes Berserk, right?" And she was like, "Oh shit, this is gonna go one of two ways. Either I'm about to be shamed, or someone really cool is about to become my friend." Um, and she was right. Maybe both ways, but not both ways on that. But yeah, so he was like, "Yeah, you should check out Fist of the North Star." So we watched that. We watched the movie, and I was just like, "Okay, this definitely seems." I don't know if it was like Samurai Jack. Is that Primal? Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say Primal. I'm assuming I did start to kind of watch that, but then never made it. I think even through the first episode, I got distracted and started watching something else. Um, but I was gonna say Jinro. I got really distracted. Jinro is one of the few movies that it's just like, yeah, they made a live action adaptation, and I fuck with that too. Like, there's very few anime adaptations into live action that I'm like, yeah, it's worth watching. The Jinro one, I think, is definitely worth watching. Can confirm Demon City is not on Crunchyroll. Yeah, that one I think we had to look up. I think that one was, and that added a whole nother list of like possible outcomes. It's just like, did we even watch the right movie, or did we watch a movie that was like mislabeled? Um, but they also recommended, yeah, Fist of the North Star movie, and it was like, okay, so it's a little horny, but and that's fine as long as it's not gratuitous. If it has anything to do with the plot, I'm fine with it. If it like the moment that we like step into, well, it's just fan service. I don't care for fan service. I'm looking at you, Berserk. The rest of it, though, the rest of Berserk, great. India's good, makes sense. One Piece LA was good. Never read or saw it before. Yeah, there's just so much. Last season, Jack was great, except the very end. I can appreciate it. I don't like live action adaptations. Yeah. I'm gonna get flack for this one. I legitimately enjoyed the Death Note adaptation as well. And I cannot stress enough, Death Note is definitely an anime close to my heart. There are points. There are definitely points that are given. I will not. I will not, because that would mean I would have to wash Willem Dafoe out of there, and I love Willem Dafoe. There are definitely points that are given, just because of how much I love Willem Dafoe. Uh, God, my eyes doing that twitching thing. Uh, it's been twitching lately. I think it's gonna pop out one of these days. If it does, I'll put it back in. I'll be like, sorry about that, guys. Death Note was too popular when I was in high school. So that's the thing. Willem Dafoe. Man, I'm gonna be heartbroken. He's fine. Jesus, drug alert. I'm sorry, Mowgli. So that's, I mean, I really like Death Note, but it's not one of my, like, yeah, Bebop, no. Willem Dafoe being put in, fuck, even Danny DeVito. If they put Danny DeVito, Tim Curry, and Willem Dafoe, Tom Hardy, every actor uh, that I love into the Bebop live action, all it would do would make me very sad, because like it would make me love all of those actors less for being involved in anything so bad. I liked the first episode because I appreciated how they. Oh, man, I don't know if I was gonna. I mean, Willem Dafoe, I think in the Lighthouse. Yeah, I was gonna say Lighthouse. Sword Art Online Bridge. Huh. I've not watched that either. But yeah, Lighthouse, I think, is peak Willem Dafoe. Just so good. Big fan of his performance in that. we need to watch. Kelly and I, it's on our list, but Onibaba? Onibaba, I know, is regarded as like one of the greats of like Japanese horror films. Um, and it just, I don't know. Based on watching the little trailer that we saw, I was like, I don't know if I'm in for this right now. But Helsinger Bridge is great too, Mowgli. I like DBZ Bridge. That's how I finished DBZ. I never got into Dragon Ball Z. I think honestly, I'll tell you, Namek. I don't have time for a Namek kind of situation, nor the patience. The moment that you're like, the planet's gonna blow up in X amount of time, you've got X amount of time, and if I'm even being remotely lenient, X amount of time times like 3 to make whatever happen needs to happen. But if it's like, okay, we're gonna have 6 more episodes that are gonna happen in like X amount of time, get the fuck out. I can't do it. My immersion has been shattered by how like timeline, storyline, and that's, whew, you want to talk about timelines and the Game of Thrones circle jerk bullshittery. It's just like, that one's just even crazier because like they literally show how long it takes in the first like X amount of seasons to get from A to B, and then they teleport in 2 episodes the same distance. And it's not like, oh yeah, things have like developed in the rest of the story. Nope, they just can teleport now. Which bridge do you like? Okay. Helsinger Bridged. Okay. I think Kai also tightens that up. Kai? What is this Kai you speak of? Oh, Dragon Ball Kai. Yeah, I know it's important from an anime perspective. There's animes that like, I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed that. And there's ones I'm like, I fucking love that. So it's just, there's so many that it's hard to want to invest time in one that I know is like, eh. I also don't like when shows are like, oh, we can just bring them back. Because then it's just like, I don't know. I think we all know. I think the life of a character being something that can actually be permanently taken away does a lot for story, because it makes you relate to them in a way that you don't normally like to relate to things. But if you have, lost people, then it kind of makes it actually much more relatable. That skin tone's going to look really good. But first, I must pee. All right, well, I've got a lot of anime suggestions here. I'm going to have to work with it. Oh my God, my foot's asleep. Oh, sweet, sweet grief. Help me. Oh no. Oh no, it's so asleep. Oh, it's like dead weight. Come on. I gotta go upstairs so I can pee. Shit, my foot's so asleep that it's just flopping out of my flip-flop. That's how you break your foot. Okay, I'm just gonna stand here until some blood goes down to my foot. I'm also gonna scooch forward a little bit so I'm not just like gray sweatpantsing you guys. Sorry about that. I did it. I drank it. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the little BRB, and I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back.
she comes, she's made of bronze and stone. And I'm just fur and teeth and blood and bitter angry groans.
And we're back. Y'all watch GQX. I have no idea how to say that. That sounds familiar. Is that the new Gundam one? The new Gundam's got a wild name to it. It's been on my list to watch, but I have not made the commitment yet. I'm pretty happy with that skin tone. I think we're going to leave that probably as is. And then with a little bit of weathering on there, should tighten everything up. Yeah, Eli, sweet. I got it. Got it in one. I have not watched it yet, but it is on my list. Is it worth watching? Did you enjoy it? I really enjoyed Witch from Mercury. Witch from Mercury was great. She can fly, she can fight, she can dance, she's aerial. Helps that Soletta is just the best girl, so you can't, if you walk away from that and you don't love Soletta, you're a monster. I enjoyed it. I just like some of the inconsistencies that pop up near the end, but it was cool. Seems cool, but I still don't know if I can watch a modern Gundam. Yeah. Little Possum, have you watched Witch from Mercury? If not, I need you to. I'm going to need you to watch that. I know very little about Gundam, though. Because in all reality, like Possum, watch it. Watch it, Possum. Do it for me. I know that it's a little different, but I promise it's worth it. And then it's got Caliban, it's got Ariel, it's got all kinds of great Gundams in it. It's got a Gundam with a witch's broom. And also, yes, Roz nailed it. Yeah, the new Hathaway, I definitely am excited for that. But yeah, Gundam's like first like legit lesbian couple. Fuck yeah, dude. And that's not spoiler alerts. Very early on. That happens very early on. But then like the whole time you're like, well, are they? Or is it just like a wedding, like an arranged marriage kind of thing? And then there's certain episodes that you're just like, oh, I knew it. It's also got the best high five. But why not just watch Sword and Lesbians? Because that's too on the nose. I need a little bit. I need it to be. I rewatched the movie recently and it's still absolutely wild. See, like, I need it to be like subtle and not just like we're doing it for the fandom. Like, if it makes sense, I don't know. There's just too much pandering out there, especially with anime. It can fall easily into one of those tropes. So it's just like seeing a toned down, realistic kind of relationship that is not just a straight relationship is always wonderful for me. Always like to see it. And by that, I mean, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain what I just meant. I like to see characters subtle. She turns into a car dog, a fucking car, bro. I'm not, I mean, wait. Sletta doesn't turn into a car. Or I think we're talking about two different things. I've never seen sword lesbians. With a name like that, though, I assume that there's nothing subtle about it. I assume that it's just absolutely buck wild all the time. And would not be a depiction that I would probably like. But, again, everybody likes different things. It is not on Crunchy. That's not the actual name. Oh, okay. It's Revolutionary Girl Utina. Oh, okay. Gotcha. But just summarizing it, it's just anime sword lesbians, the show. Yeah, no, I really liked how Mioine and Soletta, their interactions. I thought they were very good. I've heard of it, but the movie. Okay. All right. I'll put it back here. It's in there. Awesome said we should watch that, and it is wild. Again, not knocking anybody's tastes in anime. I personally really enjoyed that. It did not seem like they made the two characters lesbians solely for like ratings or anything like that. Which is often a fear. I don't want that to be something that's used as a gimmick. I don't want it to be gimmicky. That's it. It's very weird, surreal sword fighting. I like that. That sounds fun. Also, yeah, I just licked that brush. How will you know which paint to use if you don't taste them all? Exactly. The taste test is the true way to determine. The true paint flavor connoisseur am I. Inside job, Yuri calls it. Hi, Yuri. I just hopped in and listened to Sword Lesbian. Welcome, Yuri. Welcome. Hi, I came from the future. How is the future? Yes, I missed your entrance. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the bottom. Inside job. Oh. You know what, Roz? It's that kind of thinking. I don't need that negativity in my life. And coming in here and you're telling me I can't be a pilot, that I can't be a doctor, that I can't determine which paint to use by flavor. It's very, I don't know about all of it. That's a joke. Yeah. No. Also, my brush was not wet with paint still when I licked it, just to specify. It was dried. Have I tasted the paint? Yes. No, you can't. But you asked the alternative. Yes. Okay. We're on the same page then. Future, 24 hours ahead of your time. My phone just fell out of my pocket. Oh my god. What's the next? Yeah, that is. Okay, so Yuri calls it. What's the next? So cool. I'm watching the sunrise and more sets. Man, that actually kind of hit pretty hard. I'm feeling that. That's wild. Watching the sun come up. Yuri's watching the sun go down. We're all just little specks on a big old rock, you know. It really puts things in perspective. Mine's been up for 2 hours. Yeah, it's same. It's been up for a while. Also, Trigon's great. Love Trigon. Sun already vanished here. It's super dark. Damn. Haven't watched more than the first episode. Oh man, Trigon's great. I love Trigon. Trigon's actually the very first anime that I ever finished. Eli takes the drag on the vape. It doesn't feel as cool as a real cigarette. It was something deep. Yeah. She's like, man, that's real good. Yeah. Yeah, that's like me and my deep shit last night. I'm just like, man, just thinking about my cats. It's like, I'm proud of them. You know, they're good people. They have everything they need. So the life that they are living is the life that they want to live. And I'm like, you guys are good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the people you have become. Spoiled, yeah, but you know, they can do anything they want, and they choose to do what they do, and it's just good. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, no, I think I'm feeling it, Mr. Crab. Feeling that slippery crispy. And that's the kind of shit that pops in there at that, and then, you know, other really heavy stuff. That's my typical MO. That and crying and ranting about how happy you guys make me. Makes me feel good, like I'm doing something important. We're gonna have to use a little more self-control here, Eli. I need to watch Badlands Rumble in the Redux series. So we only got like one episode in on the Redux, and the animation really did it for me. Try to go Stargaze, but fall setback is coming. Yep, I'm down for some extra sleep and extra daylight. I like not being completely in the dark all day. Okay. This is a 1. We might have to go down to a smaller brush or just a little bit more control. A little more control is all we need, it looks like. Isn't that always the case, though? By control, I mean self-control, not other people's. Standpoint is a Redux, not a sequel series. Yeah, same, dog. I go to work in the dark and leave work in the dark right now. Third shift is wild. Yeah, that's wild. I couldn't do that. My brain is just not built for that at all. I would go crazy very quickly. I know a lot of people like doing that though. Like they like a third shift. I know my buddy Sam definitely likes a third shift. Working in telecom and like knowing people in the knock, which are like a 24/7 kind of thing. You gotta have people in there watching alarms and whatnot all day, every day. You get to meet a lot of people that do absolutely prefer a schedule like that. So I get it. It's not for me, but I get it. Biggest issue I have with it is just when you have to like, oh, I gotta pay bills or I gotta do something like where everything is closed when you're awake, or you have to leave work or do it on like your day off. That's the biggest issue I always came into. Yeah, I'm an off-shift machinist. Gotta have those bad boys pumping parts as often as possible. What's your work before, Eli? I was a design engineer, an RF design engineer, to be more specific. So I designed cell towers and what went on top of them and where they essentially everything. So like, yeah, wherever cell phone or cell towers are, like, yeah, I designed cell towers. That's just the easiest way to do it, to explain it. That is what I used to do before, which the interactions with people and other things, it's when you're the guy that designs the thing, your job is not over, right? Your job's really not over as long as it exists, because you constantly have to keep things that you built in mind when you build new things, which is honestly why I feel like I'm good at doing this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, I'm good at doing this kind of stuff because it's just kind of how my brain works, but this kind of stuff is why I was good at that too. It's doing really big picture kind of things while knowing, being able to see the forest and also know at the name of every tree is like really, that is how like design engineering works. And then being able to explain it to people in, you know, simple ways that anybody would be able to understand. That is what a design engineer is. RF specifically just means that I dealt with radio frequencies. But by nature, I am just a design engineer. It's just the weird way my brain works. I get dopamine in very strange ways. What made you realize to put for? Oh, that's a loaded question. So essentially, I left because I have a really hard time being asked my opinion. Okay, also, I'm gonna read those real quick. 6:30 things open at the blocks. Okay, well that's not that bad, Ross. Like I hit one on the way home. Yeah, okay, hell yeah. So, what made me realize that it was not for me? The biggest thing is my time. The amount, my time, and just corporate America bullshit. The amount of the workload and the expectations of what is needed done by people that do not understand what they are telling you you need to do. And when you try to explain to them why things won't work, they don't know enough. They don't understand the thing on a fundamental level. So it's just a, I don't ever like being asked my opinion, and then like I give it and it being like, okay, clearly I know more about the thing that you're asking about than anyone else in the room. If you're asking my opinion, I would assume that you want the right answer, but that's not what often goes on in corporations. Typically it's a circle jerk of yes men, to be as blunt as possible. And yeah, similar vibe to Bebop. Yep, read Dilbert. Yeah, it's realizing how utterly, and then just the time. The biggest number one thing that made me think, yep, fuck this, I'm out. And there's no amount of money you could ever pay me, period, to make me go back. Because it would essentially be, how much would it cost for you to blow your brains out? Was wasting, I mean, almost 2 years of my life on a project. Extremely stressful times. Like, I mean, I pretty much every day for work, I had to go into a null kind of vibe where it's just like I just exist, but I don't actually think about anything, because if I do, I get too fucking angry. So I pretty much had to enter this like really just like half-life state to even just deal with being there, because it absolutely just destroys me to see time and effort wasted like that. Uh, Essentially, after watching one of the most half-assed projects that I have ever seen, ever, go on for so long and took so much of my like life away from me and kept me from having the energy to go see people that were very important to me. Uh, and then they died, and it's just like, wow, okay, cool, well, and then the entire project just gets canceled because yeah, it was very stupid, and that's what I was saying the entire fucking time. That was the final straw that I was like, yeah, I'm done. Zero fucks given. And then just the expectations. Again, it's not so much that I don't enjoy doing that. It's that I physically cannot do the thing that I enjoy because it's all owned by corporations now at this point that do not give a single fuck about fixing things. Like it's all just a circle jerk. Like any problems could be fixed, but they can't actually be fixed because then there's not an incentive to keep circle jerking with it. And that is just one of the most offensive things to me. It's like a special kind of willful ignorance. And then pretending like you give a shit. I can't handle that. Sorry if that was too intense or whatnot. But anytime I talk to anybody that still works there, it's just like a man. You guys need to find a different job. I don't know how you still do it. But yeah, seeing behind the curtain also did a big thing where you have to pretend to care while being detached enough to not actually give a fuck. Yeah, that's it. Like profit margins. Yeah, corporate culture is the absolute fucking worst. Use job hopping due to similar reasons from corporations. Yeah, same. Like that is such a big part of it, and I just refuse to do that anymore. And that's really why I started doing this, is because the Vestarian event, like I pretty much like bore my soul, the absolute worst parts of myself, out into the world, and enough people responded saying, that it made an impact on them. And that was something that I didn't get for 15 years. For 15 years, I did not get a single, like, yep, I feel like I'm actually having an impact on people's lives. But I feel like doing something that I love and showing people how to do the thing that I love, and explaining why I do it and all that stuff, and hearing them tell me that, yeah, you helped me get through some stuff, or that they appreciate me for who I am, is just, I could never go back to being another mindless cog. Like, and that's absolutely it. Um, the absolute utter lack of respect, but the illusion of respect is so disgusting to me. And then also just thinking, man, the people that are kind of coming up with this plan, it seems like they don't have any idea what they're doing. And then, one of my buddies just happens to get into a position doing that, and he's just like, dude, it's so much worse than we ever thought. And it's just like, wow, my entire, yeah, yep, 15 years, baby. So, and I think so much of that was, I wasn't a design engineer the entire time. I worked my way from the bottom. Like, I do not have a degree, uh, which is something that's very funny to me, because people often look down on you when you don't have a degree. And it's just like, dude, I survived numerous cuts in probably the most competitive field. And everyone that, was my peer had at least a master's, but probably more than one, a master's and a bachelor's and something else. And they would go before I would. They would get cut because they did not understand big pictures. Like, you can't teach people's brains to work a certain way. And then just the illusion of people caring about you, when they very obviously don't give a single fuck, is something that I just cannot do. But yeah, no. Everybody here that has, come in and been like, yeah, you've helped me get through this, or you've helped, with this, or you make me feel like I am seen or I am heard. That is something that I had never, ever gotten for a single second in what I thought was like my dream job. And that's not to say like, oh yeah, I got lucky. No, like I busted my ass. Um, I did all the things that you're supposed to do to be happy in life. And all that did was get me money. And I realized that money did not make me happy. And that's it. I pretty much just want people to understand that that should not be the end goal, because it will not do what you want. I know firsthand. Sorry, a little bit of a rant. That most new Gen employees, especially Gen Zs, they prefer to accept blue collar work labor rather than white collar office work jobs. Yeah, that's it. Like, thank you for being yourself. You've helped me a lot. Thank you, Mowgli. No, that's also welcome, USA Libertarian. Yeah, I missed the USA Libertarian hopped in here. Hypothetically, if one were to climb a service tower, how bad would that be? Oh, well, it just depends. Mostly because white collar is micro to death. Yeah, that's it. So white collar, it's just the having people that literally know, I mean, fucking nothing. They don't know a damn thing. Make the decisions that impact our lives, like, and not just like the person's job, but like, I mean, communication is one of the single most important things that we have as a species. If you're wanting to prove it, World War One, we didn't get involved in World War One until they cut the transatlantic cable. You don't cut the transatlantic cable and sever communication for everybody if you're the good guy. That's not a, yeah, communication is just, it's so important and so mishandled. And it upsets me on such a level. But yeah. So essentially, you would have to know how to get into the gate, and you're going to need some tool to probably get up there. There's not really anything up there though worth climbing up for. It's just really dangerous. And yeah, I mean it's probably a felony. I don't know enough about that side of things, but don't do that, Mowgli. It's not worth maybe getting hurt or getting any in trouble for. I want the view. Oh man, I've seen too many pictures taken at 350 feet off the ground to just, it's just not. There's other ways that you could do that are way safer. And here's the biggest thing: if you don't know exactly, I'm not a cop or a lawyer. There are a lot of corporate companies that lay off the majority of their. Oh yeah, that's it. It's just that's the whole thing. Which, yeah, I could rant about that for days. The tower repair person. Not a single bit of that is anything I would ever want to do. I don't like the idea of being up top. I've read about enough people falling and dying. But yeah, that actually, I mean, it would be probably that's the other thing is there's so many. Mowgli, not Ugly. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you want to do that, there is a need for that. They need people. It's a good way to make money. However, it's like anything that the chance of death is high. It's the risk pay, and I don't. Again, the majority of the people that I encountered that do that line of work are adrenaline junkies. Like, do they post applications for it, or would you have to build up to the tower picker? Oh no, yeah, you could. You do not have to have any kind of certifications to climb the tower, like that I know of, that you would not get through just finding a job. Could find the company site and check out the job board. Yeah. You're planning to apply as a tower repair guy? Yeah, essentially it would be like tower crew. But with that, a lot of I don't know, I think AT&T does their own, like they have their own tower crews. But most providers, they hire out, like they have someone else, and it's because the insurance is so fucking expensive. Um, like the life insurance that you have to get on every one of your employees as a tower like repair company is so high. Because yeah, if they mess up one, I mean, one, you've got electricity, two, you've got falling. There's just a lot of ways to get really hurt or dead up on a cell tower. Uh, so I would absolutely not recommend it unless it's really something that you're like, I want to do that. Um, did I? I need to touch that up. I'm not done with this guy. I'm just yapping. Back to the wood. Probably ain't smoke weed though. That's definitely one of those, yeah, one of those blue collar fire fires like underwater welding. Yeah, yeah, that absolutely is well, up there with it. Or like the guys that repair windmills. I know windmill repair dudes make a absolute fuck ton of money. But again, it's because of risk pay, or like sea fishers, like crab fishing guys, like deadliest catch kind of shit. I know they make a lot of money, and I know a guy that did that for a while. I know a couple of people that have done all manner of crazy jobs that paid so much money, but it's just like, yep, you get to watch a couple people die a year, and hope that you're not one of them, because there's just, no matter what kind of safety stuff you can put on there, there is still a risk of very horrible death. Uh, and I just don't think that it's worth it, personally. But if it's what you love, then obviously that makes a difference. But I'm not encouraging, I'm not a lawyer or a doctor or a career advisor. I'm just a guy speaking his truth on the internet. So sad that here in our country, blue collar jobs pay so less than white collar jobs. Oh yeah, yeah. Silo cleaning too. Yeah, we don't have mountains. Oh god, no, I don't think these are worth it either. Yeah, like that. That's the thing, is it's just all of them are. It's nuts. It absolutely is nuts. And then I can't stress, like, working in corporate America, you quickly pick up that. And obviously now, with the state of everything, I think the rest of the world kind of is understanding too. But you understand how much corporate America is a microcosm of the rest of the economy and the world, and just the fact that people that are making decisions that affect all of us have literally no qualifications to do so whatsoever. Uh, and their entire craft is pretty much comes down to how well can you bullshit people and make them feel like they can trust you. And I am utterly sickened by that. So that's my stance on things. It is where I got to meet truly some people that I did not understand the concept of lizard people until I met them. And they're some of the single most horrifying people I've ever met in my life. It is just like a shell that wears a human face and pretends to be human to like parasite off of. It's just disgusting on so many levels for me. I don't have a single positive thing to say about corporate America. Again, money's good, not good enough to sell your soul. Uh, Tower repair welders probably make good money. White blue collar jobs pay a lot. Yeah. My conclusion: fuck the system, man. Yeah, you nailed it. It's tiered, still here. It's tiered, still here. Unionized industries are paid better than non, but the white collar there are simultaneously better paid entry level. Otherwise, it's pretty flat. Yep. I mean, could be one of your kids. Yeah. Oof. Yep. I got no kids. Just little fluffy kids. Results came in. I'm happily not able to make children. I did it, y'all. Yeah, which to speak to how, wait, so the bill was about the cat? I'm jealous. Yeah, so that I can't stress enough. If you're wanting a deterrent from joining corporate America, after I took a peek behind the curtain and saw that everything that I assumed was in fact going on was going on, I left and got a vasectomy. It's not my problem anymore. I'm going to try to fix the world in a way that I can, that is worth my time in any way. And best of luck. That's my stance on the whole thing. But I try to be a positive input in any way that I can. And that's really the biggest thing is trying to be a good person. Trying to do the right thing. It's often very hard. Something fell off my desk and I don't know what it was. Oh my gosh. My arms are tired. I'm like, man, I've been painting for so long, but I've still got so much work to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to get really, really, really heavy there. That was a very long rant for a short question, but the question had lots of answers to it. It's complicated. I'm complicated. All right, so let's start with that one first. I'm thinking a kind of whitish gray. Well, that is absolutely just dry as hell. Yeah, hopefully none of that got too heavy, guys. Sorry. I try not to talk about my previous life. Oh, plus a lot of light color forcing usage. Oh, yeah. I can't stress. That's a whole nother thing to rant about. But yeah, again, when you don't fucking understand how anything works, you would think, yeah, we could get a robot or AI to do that. You can't. You cannot. Which is, I know a lot of people were very up in arms about AI. And the entire time, I've just been like, no, I like using AI to poison the well that is the internet and just making horrible nightmare things to just put out there. And it's just, it's out there now. But not anything productive whatsoever, because it only knows enough to know what it needs to know. So the people that are trying to use it for things that a human brain 100% should be in charge of, whether that be art or planning things that are extremely important for the survival of our species, you get in what you put out, much like a goose foil. Or you get out what you put in. I always fuck that up. But it's a goose foil, baby. If you half-ass something, you can't really be shocked when you get a half-assed experience at the end. Again, sorry, did not mean to go too hard in the paint. But I didn't mean to make a joke there. I don't ever want to be one of those guys that just seems like he's just complaining about stuff on the internet. I just kind of want it to be taken as yep, I can't change that, but I can change what I'm trying to change. Yeah, or healthcare. That's it. It's just you can only do so much with the tools that you are given. That's it. So it's hard to get too stressed for me about certain things when I know that there's just nothing I can do about them. But I know that I can do things in the world of hobbying that I love so much, and try to be there for people that enjoy what I love and want to learn what I want to teach. That's it. Knowing that the people that are asking me or coming to me for, oh, hey, I bet it was my tweezers. What the fuck did I just roll over on? I think I dropped my tweezers. I've been using those to pretty much, nope, they're right there. I have no idea. I have no idea what I knocked off then. But yeah, not trying to circle jerk or forever rant about like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's just more of a, yeah, I can't ever see myself doing anything like that ever again. Unless it is for something that I legitimately care about. But yeah, I need to get better at marketing myself. That's for damn sure. But again, it's not about the money. I would like to have money to be able to keep doing this. But I think, you know, with the small amount of trickle of people coming in that are interested in what I do, I think eventually we will get there. Also, once I'm done with all the 1490 stuff, I will have more time to put into things like, you know, hey, here's some shirt designs. Hey, here's some other things. Hey, here's some edited videos, that kind of stuff. And it feels great being where I'm at with what I've got done so far because, you know, I'm someone who often is pulled one way or the other. So being able to finally be like, hey, I have something to show for all the work and time that I've put in feels really good. Maybe a nice golden crown? Yeah, sorry guys. Didn't mean to rant. Full tangent, what the fuck? Like the stream, peeps. Full tangent, what the fuck? GW's releasing new Chaos Motor Skulls for all gold. Oh, hell yeah. I dig that. If they're good. Yeah, Yuri, I am sorry that took way too long to explain. Once I start talking about it, it's hard for me to stop. I'm a yapper. Damn it. Just slung paint all over myself. Come on, Eli, what are you doing? And also, like, yeah, commissions definitely help pay the bills. But by doing commissions, that takes away time that I would be working towards the big picture stuff that I'm really trying to show. But we will eventually get back into doing commissions again as well. Not quite sure how I feel about these colors yet. They're good. Drop it out on Discord. Hell yeah, I'll check that out. Well, good. That's positive news at least. Okay, maybe that. Maybe we just need to go a little bit lighter on there. Maybe tone that down a little bit. Get a little more gray. I think so. I think that was the answer. Seems right. A little more beige than yellow. Good. Maybe fingers crossed this means AOS can get freakier. Maybe. Yeah, it's wild that they brought back the old world. I mean, it's not like everybody didn't tell them getting rid of it was a bad idea. At the same time, it's also just like people are constantly like, I want more blank developed. The storyline progressed, and it's just like, well, you could make your own storylines and still have the universe that you want, but if the storyline is on the brink of ending all the time and you want it advanced, you can't be too upset when you get what you asked for and they kill the world, because that's how the story was clearly going to end. That's not me being like blah 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 blah. I wouldn't have killed the old world, but it's a logical next step if the old world is already always about to be destroyed. Or 40k, the old world resurrect is completely understandable with the ancient mold. It's just crazy to revamp kits for games old on nostalgia. Yes. Yeah. That looks kind of dookie. I have not looked at Games Workshop models in a very long time. Outside of people sending them like a link to them to me, being like, "Hey Eli, what do you think of this?" or "Check this out." I've not looked at anything in a very, 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 very long time. I think it might be the paint job process. Request night model. I have not seen that. So like Warhammer Quest, I have like the Silver Tower box set, and that had a lot of good models in it. A lot of them have been repurposed and hacked apart for their bits. A harvesting of the bits. Yeah, hopefully my tangent did not absolutely run off anybody hopping in the stream. Just speaking my truths. The whole thing comes down to do what you love. What you want to do. We do not have as much time as we often would like to think. So just try to make yourselves happy. Still here. I dislike how the helmet opening for the eyes were sculpted. I will have to look at it. I'll have to take a peek at that night. Is that in the same thing that Roz posted in the Discord? Also, holy shit, it's already 9:54. How long did I fucking rant for? Oh man. Huh. Alright, let me turn it up. Sorry about that. No, if the audio is low, I definitely would like you guys to tell me. I also might be talking a little bit quieter. Is that better? I don't mean to mumble under my breath. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I also might have gotten a little quieter because I'm just like trying to stay, like, I'm not trying to get worked up. Society, baby. I'm watching you on the telly, so no clue. I'm on the telly? In local news, man denies Catboy death cult. Also grinding, so that could be me. So many definitions of that word, but I usually hear I. Which word is that? What the fuck is he doing? Is that a belt? Yeah, it's a belt. That's a belt. Double belt. Got a double belt, baby. Grinding, Eli. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Just grinding. I get it. Oh, you all. Oh, me, oh my. Man, I'm not 100% sure on these colors still, but we're just winging it. We're seeing it where it goes. Now's the time to tell you I'm a male stripper. Well, welcome. We accept all kinds here. You gotta get paid. You gotta make that money. I get it. I get it. Always on that grind. Do you have a dancer name? Magic Mowgli. Weed grinder by daylight, male stripper by moonlight. Early bird, second mouse gets the cheese. I like that. I like the idea of a stripper with a name that's like a haiku, like a proverb. Just like, oh yeah, very intellectual. Oh yeah, that's the belt. That's the coat under there. That's a different color. I gotta touch that up then. I got the wrong paint color on there. Oh no. I'm too distracted. I'm just worried that I scared everybody off with my tangent. That's why I try not to talk about things. I get too worked up. I was writing it for the Sailor Moon theme. Hell yeah. Mowgli is a magical guy. Magic Man. Magic Man. What color was that? Not this one, that's for sure, but we'll make it work for just a little bit. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to dial this in more. But when I stream, I turn the viewer number off, put the text on. Yeah, I don't look at the people, the amount of number of people that are here. It's just, I don't want to worry about that. It's just more of a, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, well, this guy's just going to rant about this for forever now. If they were wanting to hang out and talk before. I don't want to be that weird uncle on YouTube just complaining and griping about stuff. Now that I'm happier with. These colors are getting better. Five Guys, burgers, fries. I don't want to know how many people are in, so I don't act differently. That's a thing. Oh God. That's an entirely different vibe. I don't know if that's the name you go by. If that's your stage name, that's a different vibe. But at the same time, there are definitely people out there who just know me as King Piss, and I have nothing to do with anything that name often involves. So I get it. It could be just a play on something funny. Don't let other people dictate your art, Mowgli. Touch the sub. All right. Yeah, now we're getting there. Those colors are better. A little more toned down, a little more muted. Not that they need to be completely muted, but it kind of looks like it makes more sense now. All right. I think, what was the substitute in that again? The substitute? My foot is going to sleep again. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Why? What was the substitute in that again? The colors or the Five Guys? That's not scat and TG. Okay. Huh. Well, I learned something new today. I'm going to be thinking about that for a while. It was a food item, if I recall. That does make me feel better about it. That definitely, that tones things down a bit. I'm not one normally just like, we got to tone things down. That might need to have been toned down a little bit. On that note, we've covered a lot of ground today. So thank you guys for hanging out. Gonna go through a few. Good morning, fellow Sigma. Good morning, Star. Just thinking it could be a restaurant name. That's a good restaurant name. Yeah, I like that. And I'm late. Sorry, Star. I think I'm actually about to hop off here. I was getting ready to do the roll call. But thank you so much for hanging out. You missed me ranting about my former employment. So that's good. You didn't need to hear all that. Unless you needed anyone to tell you that don't listen to people who don't think you know what you're talking about. Be confident that you know what you're talking about. So yeah, on that note, we covered a lot of ground today. I'm going to go through and thank everybody. Let's see. I know we got... Where's my mouse? We got Mowgli, Basic Brush, Possum. Okay, man. The chat does not go all the way to the top. We've gotten so long of a chat that I guess I can't scroll to the very, very top. So hopefully I get everybody here. Mowgli, Basic Brush, Possum, Roz. I know we had a few names that I didn't recognize off the top of my head. Or maybe we didn't. I'm just crazy and half asleep. It's probably that one. Let's see. I know Yuri, of course. And then USA Libertarian. Thank you guys, as always. Star. It was good. Goblin Dinner Entertainment. Good. No, thank you guys. I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I am very sorry. I can't scroll all the way up to the top of the chat. Not sure why. But I think I got everybody. Hopefully I did. If not, thank you so much. No, as my tangent kind of went on, your time is the single most important. Yeah, USA Libertarian, got them in there. Nah, you got them, Possum. I got them. Yeah, your time. It's the most important resource commodity asset that you have, whatever you want to refer to it as. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. The fact that you like to share it with me means the world to me. It makes me feel like that I am doing something worthwhile with my time. So yeah, see how that works. Yeah, thank you guys so much. As always, if you would like to support my work, you can do so at the fourth wall. Like, subscribe, all those things. I'm going to have some shirt designs up this week. I've got to figure that out. I'm going to continue my grind now. Bye, Star. Yeah, I should have some shirts up there. Should also, this week we will be doing the second scenario for the Fall of Rothenburg. So I'm going to start getting into more of that, as well as video editing, all that stuff that comes along with that once we have all this done. And should start having that stuff actually with realistic end dates in mind now. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. Sit pretty. Until next time, guys. Bye, friends. Oh, not stop stream. I'm half asleep.